Hello and welcome to KU Around the Horn. I'm your host, Mike Downing. Today our experts are Rob D'Amelio, Evan Dixon, David Phantom, and Sean Gentry. Let's start with Major League Baseball. Should players who use steroids be excluded from the Hall of Fame? Rob?
Yeah, I believe they do. Because if you take it down to the root itself, if you use steroids, you're technically cheating. You're using it to the betterment of like yourself over the opposition. I mean, it's straight, like, you're not supposed to do that. That's why they ban it. They ban all types of different proteins and things like that, and creatine. It's technically cheating. I don't believe that anybody who ever used it, regardless of the accolades that they had, should be in the Hall of Fame. It's just cheating. I don't agree with it.
Okay, Evan?
I think that steroid users should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. Take players like Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, and Sammy Sosa, for example. They all got caught with steroids, but they all did so much to advance the game. They inspired a large number of kids to go out and play baseball. When voting players into the Hall of Fame, people need to take a look at what the player has done for the sport rather than the one slip-up they had by taking steroids.
Okay, David?
I'm going to have to agree with Rob. I mean, absolutely they should be excluded from the Hall of Fame. Like he said, it's cheating, and steroids are a performance-enhancing drug. Don't have to put in the time to make yourself better as an athlete. Steroids just kind of put you there. So absolutely there's no natural athletic ability that the players hold when they take steroids. So absolutely they should be excluded from the Hall of Fame.
Very good. Sean?
Now, I think they should be included in the Hall of Fame, and here's what I do. I equate it to the WWF era where they had blood everywhere. Mankind was falling on tacks, there was barbed wire bats. It brought the people to their seats, and it was exciting. Sure, the substance might have been lacking, but there was flair and got the viewers and the people watching again, and they would be invested into it. It was a great era, and you can't deny the history of what happened during that era.
Okay, very good. What are your thoughts on violent hits in the NFL? Evan?
I'm okay with violent hits in the NFL as long as they aren't intentional. These players know what they're signing up for, and they know that big hits are just part of the game. But take a look at a player like Ndamukong Suh, for example. He's known for his dirty hits, and he goes after the players' heads and their legs. I think that the NFL should focus more on intentional dirty plays rather than violent hits.
David?
I agree. Violent hits are a part of the game of football, and Antonio Brown, he's a hard hitter, and he's made some pretty dirty hits. He's aimed for the head, but there is a difference from players going head-to-head and the hit's hard than someone blindsiding another player without them really knowing.
Sean?
Yeah, I agree on the violent hits, but I'm really particular invested in head hunting. Now, concussions are just a terrible thing. They devastate people. I feel like most of these people who argue that it's not a big deal and they probably never had their heads hit before. So like your third concussion, you don't even know where you're going. So I think we should just target on that. But violent hits is a part of the game that brings us to our seats.
Back to you, Rob.
Yeah, I think the big hits are what makes football football. So, I mean, as far as big violent hits go, I'm okay with it, mostly because, I played football most of my life, and, I can connect with that. As far as illegal hits go, it's just not right. Like Evan mentioned, Ndamukong Suh, the dude is a dirty player. I mean, I don't appreciate what he does. He steps on people. It's just not right. You have people like Ray Lewis and Patrick Willis. They hit hard, and it's clean. So, I mean, as for violent hits and head hunting, I don't think that there's any place for it in the NFL. It's just not safe.
Okay, finally, let's talk about sportsmanship. Should losing players be shamed for walking away without congratulating their opponents? David?
Yes, they should. It shows a great deal of sportsmanship, and that's what sports are all about. But it is the player's personal preference whether they want to congratulate the opposing team, but just they need to be advised that they do receive a great deal of respect from their own fans, plus the opposing team's fans and the opposing team itself. It just makes them look better in the eyes of citizens and everybody watching. So it's for their own benefit, really.
Sean?
It's tricky, but I would say that, they could do what they want. Because you're emotionally invested in the game when you're doing it, you know what I mean? And when you get that loss, you're going to have some emotions filled up in you. You're going to be angry. So it's just, it's up to them whether they can congratulate the team or not.
Rob.
I'm kind of on the fence about it. It depends. I think it mostly depends on the game. If it's a heated playoff game, not where there's not too many hits, I think you should 100% be shaking the other team's hands because this is a respect factor. If you go and hit somebody and you have an altercation with somebody throughout the game, I mean, shaking their hand, I wouldn't want to shake somebody's hand that I have a problem with the whole entire game. But then again, that respect factor should come in at one point. So you have to swallow your pride sooner or later, and, man up and roll with the punches, I guess. You got to shake the dude's hand just to show respect. Otherwise, you won't get respected.
Evan.
No matter if you win or lose, you should have to shake hands at the end of a game to show sportsmanship. If you put in a lot of hard work and practice and the other team beats you, this is only because they outworked you. As long as athletes try as hard as they can, they should have no problem shaking hands with the team that outperformed them.
Okay, Evan, thank you. That will do it for KU Around the Horn. Tune in next week when we discuss the NBA playoffs. How will the Boston Celtics fare?